let me out of this prison, please. Welcome everyone back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, what are we doing here on this channel? We are working on lowering our debt, cutting our bills, and increasing our net wealth. And how are we going to do that? Well, one way that we're going to do that is working with Doordash. We're going to make $50,000 this year in Doordash income alone, in addition to the other things that we do. We have a couple of shorts out there that are showing you The Richest Man in Babylon and how to increase your net wealth. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it. All right, well, let's get started. We are going to be Doordashing probably about 6 hours today, make about $100. So that is our goal for today. And let's see, our ratings are at 99%. Yeah, we dropped a little bit because the last couple of days there were a couple of orders that we didn't accept, but that's all right. Let's turn it on. Let's see what happens. It is saying there is about a 4-minute wait, and there is a boost. I don't know what exactly the boost is other than boosting us $1. It says it's boosting us $1 for every order that we take. So it really helped out over the weekend. If we would work a full shift, like maybe, I don't know, 8 or 10 hours, we'd probably get about 30 or 40 orders. So in the course of a normal working day, that's an extra $30 or $40. That's pretty nice. Pretty sweet. Thanks, Doordash. Now, a couple of days ago, we managed to get ourselves into Doordash prison. Yes, we got put in the bad box. So we figured out a way to get out of that. So there's a couple of things that Doordash doesn't like you doing. Basically, Doordash, in the most simple sense, Doordash wants you to work. I know, that's crazy. People want you to work to get paid? I know. So when you decline an offer, they don't like that. It doesn't matter what the offer is. If you decline it, they don't like it. So you kind of get knocked down on a list. If you pause your orders, you get knocked down on that list. They don't like it. So if you pause a couple of times during a shift, if you decline orders in rapid succession, say 2 or 3 out of 5 orders, and then you pause a couple of times throughout a shift, they basically feel like, this person really doesn't want to work, do they? That gets you put into the bad boy box, and we don't want to go there. I found out that when you accept nearly every order, when you don't pause, then it winds up being better for you. So I know I mentioned a couple of times whenever I go into the city, go into close to the city, go west of where I am, close to a major metropolitan area, and I keep getting dragged towards that direction because it keeps wanting me to go there, and I'm like, I don't want to go there, especially late at night. I pause my orders so I can get back home. The preferable thing to do is actually to end your shift, go back to your town, and then restart it. If you could imagine, if you were working anywhere, if you were working in a factory, if you were working in a restaurant, working in a retail shop, imagine if the person working next to you every 15 minutes said, I'm going to go take a 5-minute break. 15 minutes later, I'm going to go take a 5-minute break. 15 minutes later, I'm going to go take a 5-minute break. That's the exact same point. Or if a customer comes up and says, hey, look, can you do this? And you say, no, I don't really want to do that. We have to look at that. Even though we are individual contractors with Doordash, we have to look at the fact that they still want us to work. And we still want to work. So the more that we do work, the more that we accept orders and such, rather than declining it, rather than pausing. But while we are working our shift, the more that we do that, the more they're going to want to say, give them a better order. All right, here we go. Our first order of the day, $15.80, I believe, going 14.1 miles. It's long on the miles, and we're not going to get a return journey back. But our goal is always just to keep it right in that average of about $15 an hour. So if we can get this order done in and out in an hour, then we'll be fine. Another thing that they don't like you doing is sitting, which sounds strange because they tell you to be by a hotspot, which is where activity is. So you want to be sitting in a hotspot. However, you don't want to sit there for a long period of time. If you sit there for a long period of time, then get up and move and go to another one, because that will kind of help restart the GPS. That was something new there at the Home Depot. We walk right into the front door. There is a locker there, and I type in a code on a keypad, and the locker door opens up, and I just grab the item. So very, very easy pickup. I didn't have to shop or anything. I just walked in, picked up the item. All right, and just as we were coming back into town, we got our second order of the day. $6.25 going 2.3 miles, so a decent order. About 3 to 1 on the dollars to miles ratio. Well, that order from Qdoba was extremely easy. For one, I walked in the restaurant, it was ready, so I was able to pick it up right away, walk right back out the door. And when I took it to the apartment, it was very easy to get into the apartment. Now we get a banger of an order, $11 going 1.9 miles or something like that, and we are half a mile to the restaurant. So that means it's going to be, I don't know, like 1.3 or 4 miles once we pick it up from the restaurant, and we're pretty much right there. We just have to go across a stoplight right now. Okay, we are off to a great start here. So we drop that order off. We instantly get another order for $11.50 going 8 miles. Now it's going to be pick up at a Papa John's pizza place, but it's going to be dropping off at 2 different places. So I'm finding with this bonus promotion that they have with the dollar boost, what DoorDash is doing, they're a little tricky. It took me about 5 minutes to figure it out. They're stacking 2 orders together, and then you're getting $1 added onto both orders. So that's interesting. So you take a somewhat normal order, say $6 going 4 miles, and another $6 going 4 miles, and maybe the miles kind of overlap. You wind up getting $12, say going, I don't know, 6 or 7 miles. So it sounds really good. And then you add that extra $1, $13 going 6 or 7 miles. Okay, that's an okay order. As soon as I accepted that order, we got a $2 tip added onto that banger order from McAllister's Deli. So that wound up being $13 and some change and going less than 2 miles. That's an order we like to see. Very easy. And so far, when we dropped that off, then we were about $33 coming in the first hour and a half. So we're going to be, after we pick up at this pizza place, which usually there's a wait, after we pick up at the pizza place, we're going to be at about $44, $45. Oh, wait a minute, the extra $2. So we'll definitely be at $45 within the first 2 hours. Our primary goal for this year is to increase our net wealth. We're doing that by lowering our debt, cutting our bills, and increasing our income. Why are we utilizing DoorDash? Because I want to show you that you can do exactly what we're doing. We're keeping our budget very low. Our goal with DoorDash is to make $15 an hour on average, at least for this point in the year. This is a very slow point in the year, and so if we can achieve $15 per hour, then we're doing okay. If you are enjoying what we're talking about, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up. It really does help us out, but also helps you out, because we're going to be putting out a lot of information for you. Not just these DoorDash videos, but we have The Richest Man in Babylon is coming out. Also, we have a video coming out this week in which we show you how we managed to work through the month of January DoorDashing without a vehicle. Don't miss that one. When we set up our plan for the day, our budget of how much money we think that we want to make based upon how many hours we're going to work and everything, I try to budget that at about $15 per hour. I know that sounds really low, but bear with me. We have busy times, we have slow times. Right now, this is a slow month. Getting ready to go into a little bit busier time. Kind of an off-peak season, just after the holidays and just before taxes kind of come in. Also, I keep it at $15 an hour because I want to make it simple. I want to make it something that some old guy like me can kind of keep a track of. So when I say 2 hours, that's $30. 3 hours, that's $45. $15 an hour is very nice and simple. And I also wanted something very duplicatable, so you can do exactly what we do. Maybe not DoorDash, maybe some other job, but keep in mind, throughout this year, we're going to increase our net wealth. How are we going to do that? We're going to lower our debt, we're going to cut back our bills, and we're going to create some income streams like DoorDash, where we create a specific income just from that one gig. After 2 hours, we made $46. Now, we just dropped off that order, and as of 2 hours into our shift, we've now made $46. But wait, there's more. That kind man gave us $7 in cash. So it's not $46, is it? It's $53 in 2 hours. So that's a little bit more than our 2-hour goal of $30, isn't it? We're having an okay day. And if you're enjoying what we're talking about, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You know what? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up also. It really does help out, but it also helps you out so you don't forget where we are. So we'll pop up in your feed. Hit that notification bell, turn it to all. That way, when you turn on your YouTube, it'll pop up that we had a new video tomorrow, or the next day, or the next day. And you can see what we had to say. I appreciate y'all so much. Look at that. I didn't even get a chance to put up the money. We're still out in the farmlands. We haven't made it back into town, and we get an order. $7.85 going 4.3 miles, but it's 2.4 miles just to get to the restaurant. So once we get to the restaurant, it's going to be about 1.7, 1.8 miles to the customer. So a very, very good order. Okay, now here's where we could get picky and choosy. We just dropped that order off. We get another order. It's $18.50 going 14 miles or something like that. Now, dollars to mile, you want at least $1 per mile. Preferably $2 per mile winds up being a good order, but at least $1 per mile. Keep in mind, we're in a small market. So our town is about 25,000 people. We're next to a major metropolitan area of about 1 million people. So hypothetically speaking, if we were to go west about 20 miles, then we're in the metropolitan area. This order wants us to go 14 miles directly west. So it's a high likelihood once we complete this order, we're going to get another order going farther west into that metropolitan area at nighttime. And it's a high likelihood that we will not get an order coming back this direction. The customer that I just dropped off, I remember them so well because it's one of the very first times that I broke our Doordash code or whatever. I did something against the rules. I was doing some grocery shopping for them, and it was obvious they were making some sort of a Mexican dish based upon what they were getting. I forget what it was, but they also wanted a lime. It was a smaller grocery store, so they didn't have a lime. So I typed that into the Doordash thing, and it suggests something like a lemon. I'm like, no, you can't replace a lime for a lemon. When I dropped that off, it was only half a mile from Walmart, so I turned off my Doordash. I go into Walmart, I take $1 out of my own pocket, get them a lime, take it back to them. Should I have done that? Probably not. I stopped my Doordash orders just to take care of that one customer, but it made them happy. You know, and that's what life's about, making people happy. Now, when you're working, you should still be making money. I'm not too excited about driving so many miles straight west towards that major metropolitan area. What's going to happen? You tell me. Do we get an order going farther into the city? Or do we get lucky and do we get an order coming back here? Now, in the past, I would have gone ahead and paused my orders and then drove back here. But apparently that's not how it should work. You should actually end your dash and drive back here. Or roll the dice and accept the orders. What do you think we're going to get? Go to the city? Or get an order coming back here? Or get no order? It is an Indianapolis address, so we are going into the city. We're actually taking the expressway there, so 13 miles. So funny thing, took me a little bit to get started today. I was trying to get out the door. There was a couple things I was finishing up at home, and my friend needed help with some things, and then another friend called, and then my dog needed some attention right before I left. And then, as a good friend of mine always says, I couldn't find my thingy-maboober. And this is what turns the camera on and off, and so I kind of need it. That's the official name for this. Okay, so now the trick is to get the heck out of the city before we get another order keeping us in the city. The lady did say she was very pleasant. She said that normally she goes there and picks it up herself, but she had worked today and she was kind of tired. So, sounded like a really pleasant lady. It's about 45 minutes for $18. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. We've almost made it back to the expressway. We're taking a back way behind all these warehouses and everything. There's a whole lot of cars there. The warehouses are all full of workers and everything. A lot of fuel stations, a couple of fast food places. I hope we don't get pinged right now with these fast food places. I'm just leaving it on. We're taking that chance. And we'll see. We've just got literally a couple 100 feet to go. Can we make it there? Can we get on the expressway? And we're on the expressway now, so we're on the home stretch. We'll definitely make our $100 tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So we're just now coming into town. We haven't even pulled off the expressway yet. We get an order of $5 going 4 miles from Popeye's Louisiana Chicken. It's right here off of the expressway, so a nice easy order for us. Yeah, it's kind of strange. I feel like we're getting put back in that Doordash jail again. Man, we had a $5 order, a $4 order, a $10 order going 10 miles. Now keep in mind, we've got a boost of an extra $1. So that's actually a $4 order, a $3 order, and a $9 order going 10 miles. Those are pretty crappy numbers. For 3 orders in a row. Let me out of this prison, please! So how do we do on Monday, February the 9th? Well, we just wanted to get a start on the week. We wanted to work for about 6 hours, make about $100. We wound up working only about 4 hours and 45 minutes or so. DoorDash paid us $42.10. Our tips were $65.10, which brought our total earnings to $107.20 in less than 5 hours. So that made us at $22.50 per hour, which is pretty decent. We drove about 95 miles, and so that gave us $1.12 per mile. We did have to spend about $20 there on gas, so we did have a little bit of expense there. We didn't eat out or spend any other money or anything like that during our shift. Oh, and we did break out of that DoorDash gel. Oh my goodness, man, we've kind of figured that out, that when we start seeing that, how to kind of break out of that, but it still kind of creeps back in there. So watch out for it for yourself if you are out there doing different gig work where you have apps that kind of track some things like this, especially those that track the declines as much as DoorDash does. Thank you to Charlie Mack, our recent subscriber, and everybody else that's out there commenting and subscribing. Thank you all so much. I don't get a notification of every single person, but if I do, I'll make sure to send you a shout out. If you are enjoying this, don't forget, hit that subscribe and hit that thumbs up. And everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll catch you in the next one.